Hey guys, welcome to my Space Engineers Automatons first look. Today I want to go over all the new blocks that were just added in the Space Engineers Automatons update and DLC. So let's get to it. Oh, and if you stick all the way to the end of this video, I have a special surprise for you. Something that is in this update that I didn't know about and I don't think anybody else did, but I'm super excited for. So make sure to not miss that. The first blocks that I want to take a look at are the new decorative blocks. First, we have the inset light block, which is a really cool block because it allows us to place a light on the wall without actually taking up any space. As we can see, we can easily place another block on top of this one. So the light on this block doesn't take up any space, which is really cool. The next one are these slope wall blocks. They have a half block on the top and a full block on the bottom and kind of converge to the center. They're really neat. I really like how they look. I'm pretty sure they will come in handy. They'll allow for like more interesting interior designs. I really like how they look. Next over here are these pipe blocks. They're again just decorative. They don't have any function, but they have these pipes going everywhere. They can be placed next to each other to kind of extend these pipe runs. They also have some kind of neat features on the top here. Overall, really nice decorative blocks. Let's get to the panels. I'm really excited for these. These panels, they are blocks that you place on top of other blocks. When these were first seen in some of the early leaks, I think people assumed they would be new block variations, but they are really blocks that you place on top of other blocks. To make this more obvious, I colored the blocks in the background the same color as the floor and left the panels in their original gray color. And you can see these are interactive, so you can actually open these panels to reveal whatever is behind that. In this case, there's just some decorative piping. And in this case, with this panel, it reveals whatever is in the block behind it. But for these two panels here, this one here, and this one here, they actually have a function behind them. So this one reveals a button, and this panel over here has an access panel. These are pretty cool, and I'm really looking forward to using them. And yeah, this access panel like fits perfectly over conveyor ports, so you can put it on cow containers and other access conveyor ports. But it does fit on any other block as well. This is, by the way, true for all these panels here. Next, we get the signs. I love them. They are so cool. There's a whole bunch of them, 13 in total, and I'll just walk through all of them quickly. There's a trading station sign here, the hazardous environment warning sign, the airlock mechanism warning sign, the zero-G zone warning sign, the construction site warning sign, the no atmosphere beyond this point warning sign, and I love how the engineer's eyes are kind of crosses like he's dead. The landing area, ships, drones warning sign, the medical rooms information sign, the authorized personnel only notice sign, an explosive danger warning sign, a storage area warning sign, a safety first notice sign, and I love this one as well. I wish you could change the number on it that it says how many days have passed without a clang incident, but I love this. This is amazing. This is so cool. And then a no access trespassers will be shot warning sign. Okay, next are the new functional blocks that we're getting. So first of all, we have the new event blocks. So there's a full variant of the new event block and there's a half block variant of the new event block. And I love that these vents are actually spinning, that these fans are actually rotating. Makes it more lively and actually looks like there's something going on. Then there is a new variation of the old event block as well, like a full block variation. These new full-size event blocks, they have conveyor ports on all sides. I kind of wish there was a side that didn't have conveyor ports, but I guess that's what you can use the new conveyor caps for. And I'll get to that in just a second here. Next, we have the top-mounted camera. This is just a regular camera, but it like points forward, not upwards. This is really useful for a lot of drones and things or ships where you want to place a camera, but you don't have a flat surface necessarily to place it against. I love this block. And as you can hear, the next one here is the new sensor block. Again, this is just a sensor block, but it's visually more interesting. The new programmable block, I love this. It looks like a server rack or something. I love how this looks. Yeah, this is really cool. Definitely going to use this in some of my builds. I use programmable blocks a lot in my video series. I actually do a lot of the programming myself and share that in my videos. So if you're interested in that, check out my channel down below. But yeah, this is so cool. I'm really looking forward to this. And then here, the new timer block. I wish it would fit in a little bit more with the new programmable block visually, because this one does look a little bit different. But still, I love that there is a new timer block. I use the timer block a lot as well. In my video series, we try to stick as much as possible to build systems and automations purely with vanilla blocks. So the timer block is being used a lot, and I'm really looking forward to using the new event controller as well, but we'll get to that in just a second. We have these two new cockpits. They're basically the same cockpit. The only difference is this one is a little bit narrower than this one, and this one does provide conveyor port access in the front and the back, and this one does not. And then we have the emotion controller. And so this is actually a block that I was unaware of that is in the game, and I want to like check it out with you guys a little bit. So first of all, this is an LCD panel, and which is interesting because it's actually a full block size LCD panel. So you can put this in a wall without taking up additional space in front, similar to the how the recessed light works, which is really interesting and kind of opens up some more design options, I think, that were not available previously. But in addition to that, it allows you to kind of configure some of these emotions down here. So you have like all these different emotions here: dead, evil, happy, sad, shocked, skeptical, sleepy. And let's say we want to do a loved one. Oh, that's so cute. So it'll show this texture basically. But in addition to showing the texture on itself, it can also control, or instead, I should rather say, control a different display. So we can choose the available LCDs down here, and we can say we want to show the dead emoji on the automaton programmable block. So it seems like if we do that, we do lose the texture on the current emotion controller. But if we go over here to the programmable block now, we get the dead texture on this one. So that's interesting. I also wonder, and I'm gonna actually use our timer block here, what actions we can choose on this. Yeah, so we can set the different emotions here. Do a happy emotion here. And so now by triggering this, we now have the happy emotion over here. Useful probably to kind of express some state across the base. If you want to, for example, say, hey, everything is working fine, you can show the happy face. If there's some problem that needs to be investigated or looked after, components, you have run out of components or something else, you can show a different emotion. So that's pretty cool. You can kind of like show state using these in an interesting way. The next block is the event controller, and I'll skip over this for just 1 second because I want to talk about the 2x2 wheels first. These are just another set of wheels. I think people are really happy about having them because the 1x1 wheels are often too small for things that you might want to build, and the 3x3 wheels are often too large, and these 2x2 wheels are just like the perfect sweet spot in between. If you guys are building a lot of rovers and a lot of kind of vehicles and stuff like that, these are going to be perfect for you. Event controller. I took a deep dive into the event controller in my beta video before, but I heard that there are new events and new functions that are available now in the actual release, and so I'm really looking forward to checking that out. So let's take a look at it. Okay, let's look at the different actions or the events more precisely that we have available. I'm not sure if I can remember. Okay. This makes me super happy and super excited. I probably won't remember all the different events that we had in the beta versus the now. But let's just go through them. We have altitude. Okay, that should be obvious. Angle change is for rotors and stuff, what angle they are at. Block added removed is when you add or remove a block from the grid. Block integrity % is if the block gets destroyed or ground off. Block on off switch. So this didn't exist in the beta, and I'm super excited for this. This allows you to detect if a block is on or off. Like, let's say a light is on or off. The reason why I'm excited for this is in my previous beta video, I demonstrated how you can use pistons to basically build arbitrary logic gates and arbitrary logic machines. So you could, like, even if you wanted to go like above and beyond, you could build like adders and ALUs and kind of a whole computer, like how people also do that in Minecraft. But you had to kind of use pistons as a crutch to kind of like relay information as memory cells, basically. But now with this here, you can use arbitrary blocks, including lights and other things, to kind of represent state and kind of do binary operations on. So this is super cool, and I'm super excited for this. And I can't wait to actually use this in my videos to build some cool kind of things. Cargo filled % should also be obvious, as how much percentage of your cargo is filled. Oops, cockpit occupied. Yeah, if there's somebody in the cockpit in a cockpit or not. connector connected. That should also be obvious. Connector ready to lock. I love this. This is really cool because it allows you to kind of detect when you can lock or dock your ship without having the connector on auto lock. Distance to lock target. This is going to be really useful for turrets and other things, like as in like maybe you want to activate your turrets or disable them depending on the distance to target or some other mechanism. Door opened. That's self-explanatory. Gas tank filled. This should also be obvious. Grid speed change. I think this might be new as well. Obviously, this how fast is your grid going. Not sure what you would use that for, but I'm sure there's some cool things that you can do with that. Landing gear locked should be obvious. Magnetic lock ready. That should be obvious as well. I guess these are the equivalent. These two are the equivalents of the connector connected and connector ready to lock. Merge block merge. This did not exist before. I'm pretty sure. I did a bunch of work with merge blocks in my multi-grid printer build, and I had to use sensors to detect if merge blocks were merged or not. Basically, when the merge blocks merge, the sensor stops detecting the other grid as a separate grid because they're now the same grid, and you can use that. But this makes it easier, and you don't have to use these kind of like weird hacks with sensors. That's very useful. Piston position percent. Obvious. Oh, I skipped natural gravity changed. I guess it's useful if they're flying up and down, leaving gravity well of a planet. Piston position percent. This is actually what I use in my beta video to kind of read the piston state and use pistons as kind of like state storage instead of the block on off. Power output percent. Obvious. Rotor hinge attach detach. Obvious. Stored power percent. Obvious. Thrust percent. Obvious. And that's it. Nice. I'm super excited. I can't wait to start working using Event Controller in my own builds in my Let's Play series. If you want to check that out, go to my channel. Make sure to subscribe. Okay, next we have some more decorative blocks and kind of semi-functional blocks, I would say. So there are these armor panel blocks. These are different in the sense of that they're placed in the center of the block. As you can see, this is centered here instead of on the edge. Conveyor caps. I love these. They exist for the regular square conveyors and as well for the pipe conveyors. They're just caps that go on the end of the conveyors and kind of like close them off and make it more neat. So when the conveyor ports are exposed, we talked about this in relationship with the air vents over there earlier, you can just stick them on to make it look nicer. Yeah, love these. And then the Willow ducts. Clearly inspired by Jeffrey's tubes from Star Trek. But these are full-size blocks and they are large enough for you to crouch through them. There's a whole bunch of them. So there's two variations of the straight one. The difference here basically is this one has like a little grid up there. This one has some lights in it. Then there's a L-shaped corner, a Y-shaped corner, or a junction, and then a four-way junction. And then there's the ramp one, which is useful if you want to change elevation basically. You can do this with this block, with the ramp. And you can also see here how we can get in here when we're crouched. Lastly, there's also this cover. You just stick it on one of these openings and it closes it. Just can't access it anymore. You can't leave it or pass through. Which actually, I wonder if they could have made this openable, like the panels. Seems like a missed opportunity. Keen Software House, maybe that's something you can change. Lastly, we have the AI blocks. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details right now here. I will do a separate video and we will be building drones and everything using them. But for now, I just want to kind of like show them off quickly. There's the AI flight move block, the AI recorder task block, the AI basic task block, the AI offensive combat block, and then the AI defensive combat block. So yeah, these were all the new blocks in the Space Engineers Automatons update and DLC. Super excited, can't wait to start using them in my own builds. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to check out my channel and subscribe. But I promised you there would be a special surprise at the end of this video, and so here it is. The Automatons update has finally fixed emotes. They were broken for me forever, and I assume for a lot of you guys as well. But now, they finally work again. So yeah, with that, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to see more like this, make sure to subscribe. I upload Space Engineers videos every week, and there's lots of other stuff to explore on the channel. And if you want to spend more time with people that are excited about Space Engineers, make sure to check out the link to our Discord. We hang out there every day and chat about everything Space Engineers. Thanks a lot for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.